You know that feeling? You click buy now, and then, almost like magic, a package just shows up at your door, sometimes in less than a day. But what is actually happening between that click and the doorbell? Well, it's not magic. It's more like a high-tech ballet, happening inside a place most of us never get to see. Okay, let's pull back the curtain on the secret life of your package and explore the incredible world of the smart warehouse.
So it all starts right here. I mean, look at this. We are all shopping online more than ever. This chart shows the absolute explosion in e-commerce. We're talking trillions of dollars of growth in just one decade. And all that shopping, for everything from socks to sofas, created a logistical problem on a scale the world had never, ever seen before.
So that's the central question, right? How do you handle this absolute tidal wave of orders? How do you get billions of different items to billions of different doorsteps and do it faster and more accurately every single year? The old way of doing things, it just couldn't keep up. No way. To really get why the new way is so brilliant, we first have to understand the problem. And the problem was the traditional warehouse. You know, for a long time, it was basically just a big shed full of shelves, and it was completely unprepared for the age of the internet. And this timeline just lays it all out perfectly. Warehouses used to be these simple storage spaces, right? Just places to hold stuff. Then the internet happened, and things got a bit more complex. But the future, which is really where we are right now, it's all about innovation and technology. And listen, it wasn't just that they were slow. Old-school warehouses were incredibly inefficient. Forget just the cost of rent, there were all these hidden costs. Products could go bad or just become obsolete sitting on a shelf. Handling everything was slow and pricey, and if you ran out of something, you just lost a sale. The whole system was just hemorrhaging money. But maybe the biggest cost, the one that really matters, was the human one. Traditional warehouses could be really dangerous places to work. In the US alone, they're responsible for nearly 15,000 injuries every single year. That is a staggering number, and it points to a massive safety problem that absolutely had to be fixed. And if you dig into that number, a huge chunk of those injuries came from one of the most common tools in the building, the forklift. I mean, look at that. It's responsible for a massive number of serious problems, fractures, bruises, muscle tears. The very machine that was supposed to make work easier was also a major source of harm. That created a really powerful reason to look for automated solutions. So with that old model totally broken, a new one had to rise from the ashes. Let's start the journey of our package as it enters the solution, the modern smart warehouse. Every single thing that comes through the doors of one of these places goes through 4 key stages. First, it gets received from a truck. Then, it's put away for storage. When you click that Buy button, it gets picked from its spot, and finally, it's packed up and shipped out to you. Sounds simple, but in reality, it's an incredibly complex dance. The very first thing that happens when a product arrives is it gets its identity. It gets a SKU, which stands for Stock Keeping Unit. The best way to think about it is like an internal passport. It's a unique code that tells the warehouse's brain everything it needs to know about that one specific item, its color, its size, and exactly where it lives in this giant building. Now you might be thinking, hey, isn't that just a barcode? And, well, kinda, yes and no. The big difference is about internal versus external. That UPC, the Universal Product Code, that's the barcode you see on products everywhere. It's the same for that item no matter who sells it. But the SKU, that's internal. It's created by the company for their own system. So the UPC is the product's public name, but the SKU is its private nickname inside the warehouse. Okay, so once an item gets its SKU, it needs a place to live. And this is where the real heavy lifting of automation kicks in. The whole process of putting items away and then grabbing them later is handled by something called an Automated Storage and Retrieval System, or ASRS for short. This is the real technological heart of the smart warehouse. And these systems come in 2 main flavors. Over on the left, you've got a shuttle-based system. These are small, independent little robots that just zip along racks, almost like robotic valets finding a parking spot. Then on the right, you have a crane-based system. This is a massive, powerful machine that moves up and down a fixed aisle. So shuttles give you flexibility, while cranes give you just sheer, raw power. So the item is stored away safely. Now comes the most critical, most dynamic part of the whole journey. You've just placed your order, and the system needs to find that one specific item among millions. Welcome to the automated picking ballet. This slide shows the absolute game changer, the revolutionary shift in thinking. The old way was person to goods. That meant a worker would literally walk for miles every single day up and down aisles looking for items. The new method is goods to person. The worker stays in one spot, and the robots do all the traveling, bringing the items directly to them. This one change is a massive, massive leap in efficiency. So one way this goods-to-person thing works is with these guys, autonomous mobile robots, or AMRs. They are basically robotic librarians. Instead of you walking to a shelf in the library, the AMR just slides underneath an entire shelving unit, lifts it up, and brings the whole thing right to the worker's station. The person picks what they need, and the robot takes the shelf right back where it found it.
But what if you need to be even more efficient with space? Well, then you have this, a cube storage system. Just imagine a giant, solid block of bins, all stacked tightly together with no aisles at all. Robots just roam around on a grid on top, digging down to pull out the exact bin they need and delivering it to a worker at the edge of the cube. It's an absolutely incredible way to use every last inch of space. And this shot just gives you a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about. This isn't just a few robots moving around. It is a full-on, high-tech ballet with hundreds of robots working in perfect sync. And of course, a performance like that needs a powerful conductor.
So, let's go to the nerve center. The physical robots are the muscle, no doubt, but the real genius of the smart warehouse is its digital brain, and, just as importantly, the changing role of the people who work alongside it.
And that brain is called the Warehouse Management System, or WMS. Now, this isn't just some simple computer program. It is seriously sophisticated software, often powered by AI, that choreographs everything. It decides which robot picks which item, the fastest path for it to travel, and even where to store popular items so they're easier to get to later. It's playing 3D chess with the entire inventory, 24/7.
Of course, this brings up the big question, right? Are the robots coming to take all the jobs? And the answer, at least right now, is a clear no. The goal isn't to replace people, it's to augment them. Robots handle the tough stuff, the endless walking, the heavy lifting, the reaching, and that frees up human workers to do what we do best, things that require dexterity, quick problem solving, and quality control. This quote from the research this explainer is based on just hits the nail on the head. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about finding that sweet spot where you can harness their combined potential. It's a partnership that creates a system that's safer, faster, and more productive than either could ever be alone.
And that's really the secret, isn't it? The magic of getting your package almost instantly? It's not magic at all. It's this incredible, seamless dance between human expertise and cutting-edge technology, all working together perfectly inside the walls of the smart warehouse.
Which leaves us with one final big question to think about. We've seen how automation is totally transforming these physical spaces where our stuff is kept. So the big question for all of us is, as these warehouses keep getting smarter and smarter, how will our jobs and our skills get smarter right along with them?